Our space plan has a number of room elements that have been placed in our first floor. And you might look at it a little bit from here, and you're going to notice that there's a few things that appear not to be really correct. Tags are not lined up, and there's a tag that's out here. It's got some question marks on it, and there's even a couple rooms that don't have any tags. So what we're going to work on is how to work with tags, clean them up to make sure that everything looks like it should on the plan. I am going to, first of all, zoom in here to this sales station. One of the things that you have to work with room elements, first of all, is being able to grab it. So I'm going to come over here, and you'll notice that I have a crosshair that shows basically the bounding element for this workstation. I'm going to click on it. When I click on it, there is a little move icon that shows up. It allows me to readjust the crosshair in there. So if you're having trouble basically grabbing the room element, you might attempt when you do get it to put it in a location that might work a little bit better for you to grab that room element. So let's go ahead and grab a number of these room elements together. You can do that by, again, trying to roll over with your mouse and then clicking on it, holding down the control key, and then just keep on rolling until you see a couple more that show up. In this case, you'll see here I'm having trouble. There, I picked him up, and I'll just keep on hunting until I come up with this next one. Missed him. There we go. So now I have all four of these selected. These are workstations. You can modify the room element a little bit at this level. You'll notice here that they're 10 foot tall. I'm going to come in here and change the height to 5'6" because most panel systems for workstations are approximately that, and hit apply. And now all those workstations are at 5'6". Another situation is where you have a tag that for some reason is outside of the bounded area. What happens is that when you take a tag and you move it out, it loses its association and you wind up getting this error message. You don't necessarily have to fix it, but it's a good idea to do so. You come in here, you pick the tag, and then you just move it back into the room and it repicks up its association. That way, it will always be attached. The other thing that you can do with a tag that is inside a room is you can, like we said, drag it out. But before you do that, you come up here to the options bar and pick leader. When you pick a leader, it does not lose its association with the room. So you'll see here it can be pulled out. The leader is left intact, and it's associated with the room, and the tag will identify the room with that leader. The other thing that you can do is you can take the tag and rotate it. Right now it's at the horizontal position. You can go ahead and make it vertical as well. And there's another one which is called model. Use model when you have an angled room wall that you want to have the tag parallel to. We don't have any examples here, but that's basically how you would go ahead and use it. Another thing is that you might make a change in the rooms. Right now you have administrator and number 13 here. The way to change the tag is you double click inside the box. And in this case, I'll put in sales manager, and I'll click on number 13 and make that 116. So making changes is pretty quick to be able to do that visually right here on the screen. Another situation begins when you have tags that are out of alignment. You can go ahead and line them up by picking on them, and again, using the drag tool that's on the tag, and then just dragging it into a location. Now, you might have noticed that when I picked up this one tag, there was a temporary tracking line that came across. Watch what happens when I pick this one and the drag tool, and you'll see that tracking line coming up again. What it's doing is it's lining up basically the text here, and sometimes it'll be with the box itself. We'll just go ahead and place that. Lastly, you can change the type of tag that you have here. Look at reception. It shows basically the name of the room and the room number. If I click on the tag and then go to properties, I can add something like tag with area. Tagging with area then gives me the square footage right below the room number. I'll go back and do that with lobby and do the same thing. So for us as designers, that sometimes is pretty useful, but you can also turn it off. So you can come back in here, pick lobby, and just do room tag, and you'll see here that you have the best of both worlds. So you can use room elements to define the rooms, to tag them with names, and also room numbers. And you can modify and move these tags around fairly easily. Lastly, you have a situation where we have a room with no tag. In order to solve that problem, come up to Room Area, pick Tag, and then come down and then just place the tag. And then lastly, all you have to do here is get out of it by Modify, and then come in and change it to whatever you want. So if this was going to be admin, let's say, and this was going to be number, let's say 115 or something, there you go. So that's how you take care of tags.